Coffee Conversations. We're continuing our little series on spiritual disciplines, and today we're going to talk about just some ones that are not necessarily like traditional in a sense.
No, they are traditional.
Okay.
They're just
traditional.
not. They're just not the monkish ones.
Yeah, they're not the ones that you think of like that.
You wouldn't think of them as spiritual disciplines.
Right, but that they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. So we're just going to kind of talk about what we do that's a spiritual discipline, maybe to give you some ideas of some things that you can do that you can make it a spiritual discipline in your life. So, Should we start?
Yeah, well, the first one being celebration, right? Like we all engage in celebration, but we don't necessarily think of them as spiritual disciplines. Stuff like a good dinner with friends or a birthday party or just a get-together, a Super Bowl party, whatever. Like these are all things that are good that, believe it or not, grow us in Christ likeness because Jesus was joyful. He enjoyed life.
Jesus went to weddings. He went to parties. He celebrated.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. Is that whenever the other two videos when we were talking about spiritual disciplines, it was about the things that are a little bit harder, take some effort, but there's also things that are just genuinely enjoyable that you can, if you want to throw them in the spiritual disciplines category, you can. Like a birthday party or a good dinner with friends or a walk in nature, just stuff that you enjoy.
Yeah.
There's actually a really interesting story in Numbers where God's talking about different, obviously different laws, but there's this one. What am I going blank on?
Instance?
No, not instance. Feast. Feast. Because he gave them a lot of feasts to observe or whatnot. But in this particular one, they're supposed to offer these sacrifices and travel to Jerusalem or whatnot. But he says, if it's not feasible for you to travel with your ox or go and have all your family and go to Jerusalem for this, then here's what you do. You sell the things that you were going to sacrifice. And then when you get to Jerusalem, buy whatever you want. He says, you want to spend it on food, get some good food. If you want to buy it on drink, get some good drink. It was because this particular feast and all of the feasts really are about celebration, about look at what God's done. Let's coming together, fellowship, and enjoying life. So I just think that's kind of an interesting story of buy whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire is, enjoy life. Because there is that. What's the point of discipline of doing things that you don't want to do if you don't get to have some reward or benefit or enjoy life? You're so uptight all the time. Where's the actual benefit?
Right. And then in my opinion, whenever, I'm sure that you can relate to this, whenever you're doing something that you truly enjoy, for me, that would be something that I consider a spiritual discipline in my life is going out in nature, walking, going hiking, or paddle boarding. And it just brings me joy.
Driving fast.
Maybe that's what you enjoy.
I don't necessarily know what that would be.
No,
don't endanger yourself with other human beings.
But I just...
I say that right before I'd say what mine's going to be.
Yeah. I'm just filled with joy and then that gratefulness that, I get to do this. Yeah. That, God has created so many beautiful things just so that we can enjoy, just if you've ever just sat outside and listened to the birds or listened to the trees or looked out really intentionally, looked at all the colors, it just makes me so grateful and thankful and wow, God, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And so those are some of mine. What are some?
Yeah. Well, I just think it's important. Be creative. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
If it's fishing, beautiful. If it's hunting,
Great.
Beautiful. If it's archery, playing sports, more power to you. Everyone's just a little bit different. Mm-hmm. One that I've started doing in the last few months is jiu-jitsu. It's just been one because it's kind of the only thing that I really do that's just for me. Everything else I kind of do, I feel obligated to, which I'm not really, but it's my personality. It's just kind of who I am. I do the things that I ought to do. It's fun being me. But yeah, just I think there's been it's competitive. It's out of your comfort zone. It's just been really fun, and it's been interesting to see how it has produced growth in other areas of my life as well. I think I'm more patient now because of it. I don't get as stressed out because, you know, it puts things into perspective in a way that if something happens at work and like I get all stressed out, it's really not as bad as someone trying to break your arm or like choke you out. You know what I mean? Like when you really know what it feels like to try to breathe but you can't, and then you forget to send an email, it's like, oh, I'll just send an email. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's just been kind of funny. It's enjoyable. It's got me out of my comfort zone. It's given me a different community than what I'm used to. But yeah, just things that get you out of your comfort zone that are fun, I think you could consider the non-monkish spiritual disciplines.
Yeah, enjoying life.
That you enjoy life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, enjoy God, enjoy life.
God wants you to enjoy life. Like He doesn't want you just to, hunker down and okay, I have to do this and do this. No, like He wants you. He also wants you to be joyful and enjoy His creation and enjoy just the things that He's given you and your blessings. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I mean, that's Jesus says, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." I think we also tend to think of spiritual people as like the solemn, very serious. But can you picture Jesus like that? I mean, Jesus is he's the smartest man that ever lived. He's the most spiritual man that ever lived. And kids loved being around him. Yeah. What kind of people do kids love being around?
Fun,
joyful, happy, fun, easygoing, lighthearted, able to stop what you're doing, your own agenda, and get on your hands and knees and wrestle. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's just like, if you dive into spiritual disciplines, great, but don't become a Pharisee. Don't try to white knuckle it. Don't let it steal the joy of life. It should add to joy. It should never take away from it. Yeah. And so I think that's why it's very important to have a variety that you practice of I'm calling the monkish ones, right? The study, the fasting, the silence and solitude, and the non-monkish ones of celebration, getting out of your comfort zone with sports or whatever it is. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
So those maybe give you some ideas on things that you can count as your spiritual disciplines or consider your spiritual disciplines. And I just want to encourage you to be engaged in those activities and allow yourself just to be joyful and enjoy the things that God's given you and enjoy your blessings. So, if you do any of these or you have some other ideas for some spiritual disciplines that you enjoy, let us know. We'd love to hear it. Give some other people some ideas and
or give us ideas.
Yeah, or give us ideas.
Always down for new thoughts.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us with this other coffee conversation video thing, and we hope to see you back next time.